one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for coming out. Appreciate it. If you can join us in a moment of silence, please. Okay, thank you. Citizen participation is up first. That's for items that are on the agenda. Do we have any? Do we have the list?
I don't think there's anybody on it.
Would you hand me
Oh, wait.
the floor, please?
I'll go later.
Oh, John.
Thank you very much. Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to approval of the minutes for the March, 24th Supervisor Meeting. Comments, corrections, thoughts?
I don't have any.
Motions to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Charlie makes a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll second it.
Sean second, all in favor? Aye, the minutes from the March 24th meeting are approved. Thank you for those, Tommy. Persons to be heard up first is Teena Curnow. Teena, welcome back.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So, what we're gonna go through tonight is the audit results. So what I'm passing out right now is just the presentation that I'm gonna go over. You already have the final audit documents, in your possession, the financial statements, the letters that we have. So tonight's presentation is just gonna be the overview, review of the results. And so we've already went through all the results in detail with Tanya, and everything was worked through, finalized. So your DCD report has been submitted, your notice of audit has been advertised in the newspaper, so now it's kind of just the functionality of officially presenting the results to you guys. So the presentation you have has kind of a overall summary. We talk a little bit about our audit opinion, what that means. We'll look at a few of the numbers, look at some graphs, and then we'll conclude. So as far as the 2025 audit is concerned and the results of it, you have an unmodified audit opinion. So that is the clean audit. Means that there wasn't anything we found that required us to modify our opinion, so that's a good thing. You had a surplus in your general highway aid and solid waste, and a deficit in your capital reserve, which was a planned deficit. There were no findings that needed to be communicated, or other recommendations, suggestions, anything like that. There wasn't any of that this year. And then I just wanted to point out about a change in your financial statements that you'll see if you're trying to compare from 2024 to 2025. You did elect to no longer report capital assets or include the management discussion and analysis, which we call MD&A. So those were removed from your financial statements. It doesn't change our audit opinion. It doesn't change too drastically the audit procedures we perform. It just changes the format and presentation of your financial statement. So it's a little bit less of a burden on your part and our part for items that don't affect the outcome of your audit and aren't necessary for purposes of your audit. They're not required by any kind of grantor agency or the bank or anything like that. So that's why the decision was made to remove those components. Our audit opinion, which is at the beginning of your financial statements, that is where you will see the unmodified audit opinion that we are presenting. It means the financial statements are materially presented, and this is our annual reminder to you, the board, that does not mean that we're giving an opinion on your internal controls. It's not an opinion on a fraud investigation. They are various different types of audits. The audit that we are specifically providing service to you for is a financial audit for purposes of filing your state report. So then, looking at some numbers. So the first number graph you'll see is your governmental activities, which this is what we call your government-wide portion of your financial statements, it kind of pools multiple funds together based on their fund type. So for you, for your governmental activities, that is your general fund, your capital reserve, your highway aid. You can see your numbers there from 2024 to 2025. Current assets had a slight decrease. Non-current assets / capital assets, in your case, you only had capital assets. You didn't have any non-current assets that weren't capital. So that's why you see the difference there, basically removing that capital asset value. So really you just have, for purposes now, your cash, which is mainly held in checking, savings, money markets, CDs, things like that. Your business type activities, the township only has one fund that classifies as a business type activity, and that is your trash fund. So here again, you can see your current assets, and then your non-current or capital. You had a small residual value of a capital asset that was removed in 25 for that change in reporting. But otherwise, your current assets are just your cash that you had, which did have a slight increase, mainly from transfers in of kind of residual trash funds that you were holding on to. You transferred those in to help cover cost. The next slide is your general fund analysis. So the way that we have the next few slides set up is where we look at different funds and we'll compare your 2024 to 2025 actual results, and then your 2025 actual to your 2025 budget, and then just show a variance to that. So you get an idea of what you did from year to year from a literal inflow and outflow standpoint, and then what you did compared to what you expected to do for that fund. So for the general fund, you can see there from 24 to 25, just a slight decrease, about 6% in your revenue, a pretty significant increase in your expenses, almost 40%, but that is based on the use of the funds you had set aside to help cover the tractor and the mower purchase. You had essentially earmarked ARPA funds to make those purchases. You had those transferred over into the capital reserve fund for about a year or so to save until you made the purchase. In 2025, you transferred those funds back over to the general fund to ultimately pay for those purchases. So that's the reason for the increase there, but you can see from a budget standpoint, you did budget for those purchases. So it really just kind of shows, you know, obviously you had an increase, but it was an expected increase, and then the residual was just your net transfers in the fund. As far as the next slide that you would see, there is a narrative basically kind of just explaining what I had just mentioned. The next number slide is your capital reserve fund. Not much going on here. The capital reserve fund is really just a fund you use to hold money aside for future expected purchases. And so here you can see from a 2025 standpoint, your revenue sources were your investment income from the savings that you have in there, the CDs and investment funds that you have, a slight just kind of other / miscellaneous income, but you can see the significant interfund transfer out, and that is where the funds went to the general fund. Now that is net. There's throughout the year in and out based on savings, transferring money over to save, transferring money back to buy stuff. So that is that about $200,000 net is a transfer out for the capital reserve fund this year. The next slide is your highway aid. And again, pretty minimal changes from 24 to 25 overall. You did have a slight decrease in your revenue, about 4%, and a slight decrease in your expenses. Your revenue essentially is just your investment income and then your liquid fuels funds that you get, which is a calculation done by the state. And then your expenses are whatever road projects you have and that you decide to cover with that highway aid fund. Usually any additional costs come out of the general fund for those kinds of expenses. So overall minimal change in your highway aid. Looking at your solid waste, the next slide, Again, looking at prior year to current year and then current year to budget, you did have an increase in your operating revenue, which essentially is just your charges to the residents. That's just based on the rates that you put in place and then the timing of your receipts of collection or collections of payments from the residents. But you are in line with your budget. You are a little bit higher. You kind of budgeted in between last year's actual and what ended up coming up to be for this year's actual. So you did actually collect more than you were anticipating. Expense-wise, about a 4% increase. So nothing too significant. And you can see within $4,000 of budget. So really from a cost standpoint for the solid waste fund, you were right in line with where you were expecting to have those outflows this year. The next slide is just your overall equity comparison, 2024 to 2025. So when you look at your financial statements, you have total equity, but in multiple of your funds, that's broken out between different equity components, meaning for the general fund, for example, you have 3 different equity categories. You have restricted, which is the funds that have been received but have an external restriction on them. Somebody gives you money and it has to be used for a certain purpose, things like that. Your committed funds, that is internal restriction, where you as a board have decided to set money aside for certain purposes. And then unassigned is everything else. Whatever needs necessary to operate the township, that you can use those funds for. Your capital reserve funds, you have restricted and committed. Your highway aid, you have restricted just by virtue of the township code and how the highway aid fund needs to be managed. And then your solid waste fund, you have your residual there. There's no net investment in capital assets because you're not reporting those anymore. So it's really just everything in your solid waste fund can be used for purposes of operating that fund. The next few slides are just talking a little more narrative about the township and some significant areas of the township and the letters that are also included in your financial packet. So the first slide that you have in front of you that says other financial statement components, all that's on here just mentions note 1. We always just like to remind you about note 1 in your financial statements because that is a very informative note. It basically tells the reader everything they need to know about the township, how you came to be, how you operate, how you record things. And so it's just a very good specific information related to the township and kind of helps paint the picture of how you're actually recording activity and the decisions that you're making. The next slide is the management letter. Essentially, it's just a summary of the management letter. So here, we indicate the purpose of the letter is to communicate any internal control deficiencies that we need to, or any suggestions for improvement, any standards that are becoming applicable that will impact the township. For you, there was nothing to report this year, really, other than we always just try to remind you as the board of your due diligence. You do have small office staff. You do not have the lack of segregation of duties, internal control weakness reported, which a lot of small municipalities do. And so we always just remind you that while we had the conversation with Tanya too about internal controls and who does what, just making sure that while it is difficult to have a true segregation of all responsibilities, even those little things that may seem not important, if you have a second set of eyes looking at it, reviewing it, approving it, things like that, those are the steps that you have in place and the protocols that allow us to not have to report that deficiency. The only thing I'll say with that is, even if you would get to a point where we would have to report that deficiency, where you just don't have enough hands touching the different transactions to get that good level of segregation, we wouldn't necessarily recommend you make any drastic changes. Normally, the only way to alleviate that weakness is to add more people. So you always have to look at the cost benefit for any change that you're going to make. And so a lot of small municipalities, they'll have that reported, but there's no change that's made. It just heightens the responsibility of the board to make sure that you're reviewing everything, you're asking the right questions, you're getting the right information to make the decisions that you need to make. The rest of the presentation is the graphs. So these are also in your management letter, but we like to highlight them here since we don't go into a lot of detail with the numbers here with our presentation. And this also gives you a historical analysis. So this will show for the different graphs that we have the last 5 years, where your financial statements strictly only show 1 year. So you can see each fund and the revenues and expenses and cash balances that you've had for this past calendar year and then 4 years prior to that. So the first one, and the one that I want to talk about the most here, cash and investment, when you look at this, it looks like the general fund cash decreased significantly and the capital reserve fund cash increased. And while technically that was the case, the cause of that was the opening of the Pliget accounts, where you're now, as CDs are maturing, you're pulling them into Pliget, getting, in most cases, the same return. But it kind of streamlines things a little more, kind of puts everything into more of one bucket. And Pliget is a very good financial source that a lot of municipalities use. But when that account was opened up, it was basically housed in the capital reserve fund. So when you redeemed your Cetera investment and put that into Pliget, it, by virtue, was put into the capital reserve fund, but the township code has very specific requirements for the capital reserve fund, what goes in there, how you can use the money, and those funds were not earmarked for anything. It was really just savings, extra funds that you had for the general fund that you were trying to earn extra investment on. So while the cash temporarily is in that account, it will essentially be moved back to the general fund to be there for future use, for future needs. So it's kind of a temporary thing, but for purposes of reporting on 2025, that's just kind of how it flowed. So I just wanted to point that out because it really wasn't anything specific to the capital reserve fund this year. It was just by virtue of you have the same cash, it's just in a different bucket for this graph purposes. The next graph is revenue and expenses. So you can see for the most part, the last 5 years, pretty much break even, maybe a little bit of a surplus. 2025 overall, by township standards, taking all funds into account, a little bit of a deficit, but again, that is mainly because of the mower and tractor purchase that was significant but planned for 2025. The next two graphs, you have your revenue and expenditure trends. And so revenue, pretty plain, ordinary, no special revenues or one-time things that you've had recently for revenues, so pretty standard there. Next graph for your expenditures, the main outlier you can see in the public works. This just depends on when you do projects, like road projects, when you have purchases, like in 2025, when you had significant purchases for the tractor and the mower. So you're obviously gonna have those ebbs and flows there. And then the next two graphs, and it's the last two graphs, it's revenue and expenditures again, but it's just for 2025, and it shows you a pie graph. So this gives you the percentage allocation of where your inflow is coming from and where your outflow is going. So for 2025, for revenue, over half of your inflows were from taxes, which is normal for the township and normal for municipalities in general. That's essentially how you're able to operate and provide the services that you do by collecting those taxes, the real estate taxes, earned income taxes, property transfer taxes, and everything. Your expense allocation, high on the highway side this year, almost 50%, but again, you had significant purchases. So normally your public works is still a fairly decent chunk, but it's usually a little bit more equal around the pie unless you have any significant road projects. But in a normal year where you just have some patchwork, overlays, things like that, your expenses are pretty evenly matched across different categories. The next slide that says communication with those charged with governance, that is referring to the second letter that you have. That's the letter that we are required to provide you at the end of the audit that kind of wraps up everything. Anything that we are required to communicate to you at the end of the audit would be in that letter. It includes any significant estimates or disclosures in the financial statements, any disagreements with management, which there were none, any difficulties in performing the audit, which there were none. It acknowledges you providing us the representation letter, which is the letter you sign at the end of the audit saying you gave us everything we needed to do the audit, you didn't withhold any information, anything like that. And then we also include in that letter a copy of any adjustments that are made from the time we get your initial information to begin the audit to the numbers that you see in the financial statements. So that gives you, it's a communication tool to give you the information to just see any changes that were made, why they were made. There's a description of the entries. Sometimes it's for purposes of getting things to flow to where the state wants to see them. Sometimes there are entries that you need to make internally, which we've already communicated with Tanya about all that, and everything is good to go. But that is just also there for your reference. So in summary, you have a good, clean audit opinion. You had a surplus in all your funds except for your capital reserve, which was a planned use of reserves, no findings, and just a reminder that you're not going to see the capital assets or the management discussion analysis in your financial statement. So it made it a little bit smaller than what it was in past years. Any questions?
Charlie, Sean?
Well, I'm satisfied.
Yeah, okay. Teena, page 20, you commented as far as working with townships and your experience working with other townships. How's Bride Township doing in your view compared to those two deals?
I think you're doing good. You still have significant reserves. You're paying close attention to your solid waste funds. My understanding is you're going to be making some changes here in the next year to try and help save even more cost and keep rates minimal. You haven't had to raise taxes so that your reserves that you've been building up over the years, that's a function of that. You're able to utilize those reserves when needed. So that you don't have to take out debt or you don't have to raise taxes to pay for cost. Not obviously, it's not sustainable forever, but you've been able to manage the increase in cost everywhere that everyone is experiencing for now, whereas a lot of other municipalities are raising their taxes, they're adjusting services, making those hard decisions because they're in a position where they have to. So I think just stay in the course, making sure that you're being smart with the excess funds you have, putting them aside to get the better interest rates, just keeping in your checking account what you need to cover upcoming costs. That's probably about the best you can do right now. The capital plan that you have as far as the roads and what needs to happen, just try to stay on track with that. Don't get behind because costs never go down. So just, trying to savings now, but maybe not so much in the grand scheme of things. So that would be my only other suggestion. I'm not saying that you're doing anything bad or good compared to other municipalities, but I think you're in a position now where you have some cushion to be able to make better decisions than some others might.
Okay. Tanya, did you have a secretary treasurer? Okay.
She knows more than the rest of us.
Again, thank you very much, and thanks for all you do for and support of the township. It's great, I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. We appreciate hearing that. So like I said, pretty much everything is done. Everything that needs to be done is done. It's just the formality of presenting the results. So after tonight, we could relax for another few months until we're communicating again for the next round.
Okay,
All right?
thank you again.
All right, yep, enjoy the rest of your summer,
Thanks, Teena.
once summer actually comes.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay, that takes us to municipal reports, zoning code enforcement.
This is all good stuff.
Thank you very much. Are we good? Okay, okay. So from JHA, we have 2 items. Add a garage, finished basement. Follows up with complaints and permit inquiries in the field, and grandfathered housing chicken litters. And then is this the
There's 3 invoices.
3 invoices? Okay, first invoice, $237.50. For 2 items, I'll make a motion to approve payment of that bill. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Sean, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Payment of $237 to JHA is approved, and then the next one is about a dozen items, and that is $675. I'll make a motion to approve payment of that bill. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Charlie, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Payment of $675 to JHA is approved, and then the last one is about 7 or 8 items, and that is $1,225.00. Motion to approve payment of that bill.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor? Aye. Payment of $1,225. The last one to JHA is also approved. Thank you for that, Tanya. And then Frederick Siebert Associates. 3 items. And invoices. First invoice to Frederick Siebert and Associates for $100. I'll make a motion to approve payment of that bill. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Sean, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then a second bill for 3 items for $700 to Frederick Siebert and Associates. Motion to approve payment of that?
I'll second it.
Okay, I made the motion. Sean, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, payment $700 to FSA is approved. Okay, sewage enforcement report. Road report.
Johnny and Willie extended the cross pipe on Pine Hill Road. Filled some voids on the edges with 2 RC stone. Clean cross pipes and side ditches from Dean's Gap. They also spread some stone on Miller's Gap, try to get the crown back in the road so we can control the water. They finished up basically cleaning the underneath of the trucks we use for the winter, sprayed with salt neutralizer. Installed a new cross pipe back on Idle Road, cleaned the cinders off the bridge decks. We got a truck, the older Ford 550s down at LB Smith right now for some repairs.
Yeah?
Nah, it should be done by now.
No, but again, I thought we just,
Transmission issue.
oh, that's the same one? Okay.
Yeah, it's the same
That
truck.
was fixed, okay.
It
Okay.
should be done. In fact, I think I'll pick it up this week. Cleaned up some down trees on Weaver Drive. Placed 2A and cold patch along the edge of Pine Hill Mountain Roads where needed to prevent the pavement from breaking off. Clean brush move, stop sign at the intersection 850 and Flasher Road, resident complaint. Apparently it was too close. Wasn't there for that. And we did some mowing and trimming around the grass out here in the building. That's
Okay.
all I got on that.
Thank you, Charlie. Okay, emergency management report. Kurt, what do you have? for
Yeah,
us?
just a couple of things to go over.
Yeah.
Wasn't here last month, but just to bring everyone up to date, if you recall the radios, I contacted B. Moyer Radio to come in and take a look at what we have here at the township and to give us an assessment of what can be done to increase or area of coverage is the right word. So he hasn't gotten back to me on that, but preliminarily, he's talking about contacting Cumberland County. They put a new tower right up here on the mountain. And he says it's likely that we can, as a Wright Township, it's likely that we can piggyback on that tower.
Oh.
So if we can, that will give us great coverage in the valley. More on that later. But he's doing a study of really what's gonna be recommended. Repeater, base station, again, it's gonna be for the road crew, emergency management, especially now that we have a generator here, and this can be used as a warming location in the winter if power should go out, if emergency occurs. So that's the one piece on the radios. More to come on that. Hopefully I'll have that report back in a week or so. The other part of this, let me get a copy of this. And Tanya was great in typing this up. This is a skeleton of the emergency operations plan.
She mentioned this.
Yeah, she did a great job on this. There's a lot more to go into this, but you can take a look if you would. You don't need to do it tonight, but it's a skeleton. If you want to add some things, take away some things, just let us know, and we'll be glad to take care of it. Once you give us the preliminary thumbs up on this, then I'll be talking to Mike Melnick in Carroll Township, who comes in Rye, and then of course Marysville, who comes out from the borough. And we'll get their input into this plan as well. I was mentioning to Tanya, there is, Mike has the names of residents in Carroll Township that in the event of a snow emergency where, there's very little traffic, folks that need oxygen, he has them listed. So we forget about those who have a medical need, thinking that the emergency will pass, the power could be out, oxygen generators don't work, we need to go back to a cylinder. He has a list of those names, and I want to try and get a list from Marysville of the remainder of Wright Township. We'll put those names in this document so we can use it in the event of an emergency. So things like that will be added by the chiefs, so we have a more comprehensive document moving forward.
That's great thinking.
I'll
That
keep,
could be even power outages and not necessarily snows or.
Yeah, it could be tornadoes, it could be floods, it could be anything that's gonna create difficulty for the residents in the township to get out. A tornado come down the valley, we're gonna have a need for assistance.
Okay.
So, Tanya has spoken with Wes at the county level, and he is also assisting with this. You'll see in the back, there's some documents. No, it's not all the way in the back, but there's a list of,
That's the last page.
next last page. There's a list of documents on page 9 that we're working with Wes on. One, so that it's a consistent message throughout the county, and two, so we can get a copy of it. That's what I have. So you
All right.
can take a
Well,
look at it
this
at your,
is great.
when you
Thank
have your, when you have some spare time, and the Phillies are still losing.
This is great, very much appreciated. Thanks for taking the lead on this. We don't have an operation, or emergency operations plan.
Well, I asked about that, and nobody can put their fingers on it, so.
I'm glad you
with
asked
Tanya's-
about it.
With Tanya's help, we were able to pull this up here.
All right, thank you, Tom. Let's keep. Okay, financial treasurer's report.
Okay, beginning balance at mid-pen general checking was 245,550.26. Deposit receipts of 80,349.68. Expenditures of 61,963.30. Interest of 291.56, leaving an ending balance of 264,253.36. Penny and bank general checking had interest only of 30 cents, leaving an ending balance of 2,314.48. Bank of Landisburg general savings, interest only of 65 cents, leaving an ending balance of 2,537.58. Mid-Penn liquid fuels checking had interest only of $11.26, leaving an ending balance of 9,963.87. Bank of Landisburg liquid fuels money market, March 1st balance was 2,722.93. We had interest of $76.46, and then our liquid fuels allocation came in on March 2nd of $117,491.60, of which we moved into a 3-month CD until we needed to pay for our projects this year. So it went in and it came right back out. So our ending balance is 2,799.39, and that 117,491.60 is in a CD. Pliget Prime had a beginning balance of 388,969.63. Our interest as of March 31st was $1,238.51, leaving an ending balance of $390,208.14.
Okay, comments, questions?
No question.
We've still got a couple small accounts, Penny and Bank of Landisburg, for
Yeah.
a few $1,000s. Are those, are you still moving those toward?
I would like to close some of those, I just haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
One of the reasons I didn't do anything with, in particular with the liquid fuels, is because I had to be sure which account the liquid fuels money came into. And until I'd like to get that changed so that it goes into mid-pen, which is easier for us to manage, yeah. But I have to get that change made because it comes in through an ACH. So
Okay.
I don't wanna do anything until I'm sure that I have it.
Get it switched over.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have this first one?
It's turned on, but we don't have everything cleaned up back there. We've got files sitting.
Laura just wanted to check the
Okay.
TVs in the restaurant. Okay. Thank you, Tom. Secretary's report.
Okay, so, an update on the delinquent trash accounts. Most payment arrangements are being honored. I have one that is not in compliance right now. But we've collected over $10,800 in delinquent, trash fees. The P-card program, all the applications have been submitted and we're waiting on the approval from BMO and the cards to arrive. In-house trash billing, we provided the ACH transfer demo file to Mid-Pen for approval, and it appears we have the kinks worked out of that. So I just have to order the AccuFund utility billing software. We talked about an amendment to the resolution for purchase orders, which I have on the resolution list for tonight. The exterior building painting is scheduled for May, so that'll be happening soon. We had some discussion early on about new roofs for the township buildings. I did get a quote from Fisher's Roofing, and my recommendation is that we look at this and possibly put it into the budget for next year. We have some other bigger things we were doing this year, so I think it's something that we should plan for in the future. The roof on this building in particular
You
definitely needs
know,
replaced,
even
so,
patching and renailing
yeah. So I drafted a letter, for approval to be sent to the senior billing accounts. We do an application for senior and low-income accounts for trash. And, I know I round robin this with all three of you, and Jim, you'd put a note on here that you guys wanted to review these. So I gave you each a copy of both applications, the senior application and the low-income application. So I thought you guys could review those and let me know if you want changes made, but what I would like to do is try to get this, because there are so many residents on senior billing, and I have been able to find out that there are some people that have passed away. In those counts, some of them are still on senior billing. So it's something that we need to revisit every few years. So I had also drafted a letter, which you guys had also all signed off on, to go out to them just so we get our records updated and be sure that we're billing as we should be. The direct deposit setup, we've started working on that. I'm still waiting for MidPen to verify the file from AccuFund for the direct deposit is correct. And then once we have that done, then we'll be able to go ahead and switch to direct deposit. So that's all I have.
I'm just looking over those two forms.
Yep. You can take them with you. It's something you can get back to me on. I don't need an answer tonight.
Well, thank you for your report, and thanks for the two attachments. Did you need this?
I got mine, that's yours.
Actually, they're two different ones.
They're two different.
They're two different
quotes.
pages. I didn't print, I can print for everybody if you
Yeah,
want to
go
put them in
ahead,
your
you do.
box.
I thought I had that one.
Yours is already in your head.
Yeah.
Keep it nice, keep it comfortable.
Okay.
Oh, where are we at? Okay, resolutions. We are at, item A, resolution 26-15, matured guide rail and road equipment CDs at Penny and Pliget.
Yes, so we have two CDs that are maturing at Penny and Bank. One's the future guardrail, one is road equipment, and I'd like to transfer them both into Pliget.
Okay. Into Pliget at 3.81%.
Yeah, the rates are down, they aren't, we aren't, can't get that 4 anymore, the highest I found at Banks is 3.75. So I'm still doing better at Pliget.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve resolution 26-15. Do we have a second?
Go ahead, John.
I'll second.
Sean, second. All in favor of resolution 26-15? Aye. That takes us to resolution 26-16, general solid waste capital improvement, Parks Rec office, Parks Recreation office equipment, MS4 stormwater, CDs maturing at Bank of Landisburg, also moved to Pliget.
Yeah, so I have 5 that are maturing in May, that I'd like to put over into Pliget, again at the 3.81. These are all fairly small ones, ranging from $2,100 up to $42,000 compared to some of our other ones. This is gonna clean up a lot, these three are going to clean up a lot of the CDs, and we're only gonna have a few still outstanding after this round. I think there's a few coming up in September yet.
Okay. We have a motion to approve resolution 26-16.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, resolution 26-16 is approved. Yes. sir.
Down below or?
Back-
Yeah, just roll
There's
on
a
to the next
second
page.
page. No, there's a second page.
Okay. So then you're open there. There it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, resolution 26-17, the matured comp plan CD currently at mid-pen, move it to Liggett. That's resolution 26-17, I'll make a motion to approve, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Charlie second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 26-17 is approved. Resolution 26-18 has to do with purchase order updates.
Yeah, so, this is the one we talked about, the last time it was amended was 2010. It was purchases over $50, and, we discussed putting it more in line with the P cards.
Mhm.
So, purchases over the amount of $500 would have to have a, or purchases over the amount of 500 would have to have a purchase order. Maximum amount of purchase to be made with a purchase order is $1,000. Purchases over $1,000 require board approval. And I put on there was a section about Secretary Treasurer acting on behalf of the board as bonded and authorized to sign purchase orders of up to $1,000. So, that was the changes,
From
The-
the old one.
yeah, from the old one, and I have both of them here, so. The old one and the new one.
We have a motion to approve resolution 26-18.
I'll make the motion.
Charlie makes the motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 26-18 is hereby approved. With it. Okay, first item under new business is review and award road bids.
So, okay, first one is Penzi Supply. Do you wanna read them, or do you want me?
If you could, you've got them there. There's nothing to pass on.
All right, so. They did not bid on the seal coating and the fog seal, so there's no bid on Spruce, Reed Drive, Woods Drive, Cherry Drive, Lee Drive. There's no bid on those.
I'm sorry, I'm only seeing one seal, fog seal. See another seal?
So it's basically from here all the way to here is single layer, this is double layer. So this, if you go to this column,
Mm-hmm.
it would be everything from here down. They gave you a bid.
Oh. Spruce, okay.
All right, Rattling Rock Road and intersection with South Route 850, approximately 62 square yards. Is $2,480. And then the tack coat and overlay is $5,500.
No, I'm sorry, what was it, 5,400?
248 for number 7, number 7A is 5,500, all under Pensy Supply.
And I'm sorry, the first number?
248,
248 what?
I'm sorry,
Sorry.
2480.
2480.
2,480, sorry.
Okay, so, sorry. Is there, do we have a summary sheet, so we're not adding all
I
this up? or-
have not,
We have one back here, but
Okay,
if you want me to just add them, I will. I just wanted to give you the opportunity if you wanted to, but the bids are not supposed to be opened ahead of time.
yeah, she was following the rules.
yeah, no, I understand.
Number 8, Site Circle, intersection of South Route 850, I'm sorry, approximately 98 square yards. Mill and remove at 1.5 inch depth is $3,920.
Okay.
And tack coat and overlay is $6,750.
Okay.
Lambs Gap Road, from a point to a marked point, approximately 2,181 feet by 22 feet. This is with the addendum. So, this is gonna be your number 1,
Okay.
504 tons. Total cost is $57,960. Your base repair under 1A is $14,030.
2,030.
And then your base repair under 1B is $5,290. So your total bid from them, because it does not include the seal coating, the total bid is $95,980. I'm sorry, it does not include the tar and chipping and the fog coat. Fog seal,
Okay, 95,980 from Penzi Supply.
correct.
Did they say why they didn't quote the other one?
It is because, and I did not know this because I've not had experience prior with tar and shipping, that there really is only one place in the area that does it, and it is Russell Standard. And had I known that, I would have bid them separately, but I did not know that. So the ones that did bid on it, it's gonna be because they subbed it out to Russell Standard. But now I know that.
You heard of it?
Nope. Can't say that I do.
All right. So,
Who are we looking at?
this is, New Enterprise.
Okay.
Yes, they did bid on the seal coat. Or I'm sorry, the, tar and chip and the fog seal.
Okay, so all the ones that in the previous
Yes,
pension.
so
did not
instead of
go-
reading them all individually,
Yeah,
their total quote for tarring and chipping and fog seal, let's just do it that way, is $158,972.64. Hold on a second. That is the total of single and double. So if we single coat it, just the top part,
mhm,
it's $50,423.04. If we double coat it, which was what was recommended,
mhm.
it would be $88,707.20. So ignore the 158 because we're not, obviously not gonna do 3 coats.
Okay, could you read that number back to me?
All right, so if we do a single coat, it's $50,423.04.
Single, right,
No.
okay. so
Well, that's your choice,
Well-
not mine, but,
What-
if you
what
do a
I
double
recognize that
coat,
Double coat, what's that?
it's $88,707.20.
88,707.
And then the fog seal is a separate line because that's a final step. That is $19,842.40.
Okay.
All right. Then Rattling Rock, number 7.
Mhm.
The number 7 is $1,860. And the tack coat overlay is $2,340. And then number 8 at Site Circle is $1,862. And 8A is $2,430.
2,430.
Mm-hmm. And then number 1, your Lamb's Gap,
Mhm.
$60,480. Number 1A for the base repair is $10,675.
Sorry, 10,600.
675.
675,
Mhm.
okay.
And 1B is $3,910.
10,910.
Yep. So. If you add just, not including, if you're gonna compare apples to apples, so your Penzi Supply and New Enterprise, just for the paving part. It's $83,557.
Okay. And with everything?
Um. I have to add it because they have the whole 158,000 of it in. You were calculating out.
Mhm.
You cheating?
Yes, I am.
What do you got?
I'm still adding,
Oh,
sorry. Why did I do it this way? What do you? You're looking for all the paper, the tar and chip stuff?
I'm coming up with 192,106.60. Oh, yeah, it's right there. in front of me.
No,
Oh, they actually just put it,
I'm sorry.
At least I had it right.
192,
192, 106, 60. Sorry.
yeah, okay, that's, okay, so. Okay,
All right, J Folk Road. So they did not bid on the turn chipping. And it does not appear that they bid on Rattling Rock and Site Circle. They only bid on the Lambscap portion.
okay,
So number one, they bid 70,706.16.
70616, okay,
1A, they bid 11,419.20. And 1B, they bid 5,160.51.
5,100. 60.
5160.51. So that total for just that is 87,285.
87,285.
Yep, and 87 cents. And they did not bid on the other sections.
Okay,
All right, and then Hall Bakers. All right. They didn't give me total.
they didn't.
No. All right. So, for the fog seal, for the double coat, it's gonna be 93.88. You can add
Right
Sean.
here, 9388. Did they do any sensors at all, just, are they rounded
No,
up?
it's, everything's rounded, 46,864. 12,732. 99.56. And 14,436.
93,376.
And then the fog seal is 23,344.
Nope, that's something.
I got it all written down.
You do,
So we're
okay.
good.
what was it,
Okay.
9388?
93,376 for the tar and chip double
Double,
coat,
double coat.
and then 23,344 for the fog seal.
Okay, 23,344.
344.
Okay,
Okay, and then number 7, the Rattling Rock section is 2,356.
okay,
7A is $2,910.
sugar, okay, I'm sorry, 2, 3, 5, 6. And
Number 8 is
So, I'm sorry, 7A?
9210.
9210, okay.
I'm sorry, 2910. Oh my
2910.
goodness.
Your dyslexic is catching me.
2910.
2910.
Number 8 is $2,450.
2,450.
And 8A is 3,195.
3,195, okay.
And that section totals 10,911.
For the paving part.
Mhm. All right. And then Lamb's Gap, number 1, 63,000 even. 1A, 6832.
6832,
Mhm.
okay.
1B, 5,290. For a total of $75,122. If you wanna continue on, I'll get everything calculated here.
Yeah,
Give it back to you in a
because
better format.
I've got
I'm gonna go
numbers
grab-
and crossouts and errors.
Everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to figure out a way to,
Let me go get
Needs more
my
digestible.
phone, that's the next bid.
oh, okay. We're gonna move on to and then come back to item A. Item B, review and award roll-off dumpster and trailer bids. This just says trailer bid, so I was telling you when she comes back, I would assume that we can get a dumpster bid then. And this is for the recycle dumpsters that we no longer use.
We did not get any bids for
Okay.
the
So
dumpsters,
there you
that's
go.
just the trailer.
Okay. It's just
Just
double
one bid,
axle
just one
with
bid.
the trailer. Oh, no.
Am I allowed to? That's me.
Oh, I was wondering, I thought, now,
Nobody else?
yeah, honestly, I would think that that would probably be a problem, and I'll defer to our solicitor, as a supervisor, board members should not be bidding on a piece of equipment, regardless whether anybody else bids on it or not. We have something that we're trying to liquidate, we don't use anymore.
Probably not, but if you'd like me to do some little research on that to see, get a definitive answer.
Yeah, if you would please, yeah, and I think just to make sure that we're, okay with that. So, Bruce, do we read the bid amount or?
So this is,
not?
we'll just, why don't you just hold on to it?
Okay.
And I'll see, so it's bidding on a purchase of, unused equipment.
Used
Yeah,
equipment.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Tom, may I give that back to you for
Yep.
hanging on to for the time being? Thank you. And just to confirm, you said no bids on the dumpster, so can we re-advertise those?
Yes. Yes, we can. I did reach out to Penn Waste because they had shown some interest previously,
Mhm.
but I didn't hear anything back from them and I did not remind them, so, but yeah, I can reach back out to them.
Okay. Yeah, regarding the equipment, so I recall we came up against this once before. I forget if Brad was supervisor at the time, he was definitely an employee, maybe he was both. But I didn't think it was something we should do, at that time, and we had talked about it before the bidding was even made, and so, we just directed that no bid would be made by a supervisor. But Bruce, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I do recall, this was a while ago, another town, I believe it was an old tractor they were getting rid of, and I think a supervisor bid on it. I don't remember how that came out, but I'll take a look at that and see that as
All right,
well.
thank you for that. Okay, we'll move on to item C, so, do I have the paperwork?
What is it?
For the health insurance.
Yeah, I got the summary here, the sheet,
Yes.
yeah, and, you know.
No, I
Charlie?
don't.
I have it. Good.
No, I emailed it to you.
Oh, I didn't print, I
Alright,
didn't print it out.
so, to keep the same coverage that we currently have, because I had budgeted an increase, in the health insurance, with the new price for 12 months. Now, granted, we're only gonna have 6 months in the 2026 budget.
But, right.
So, but I budgeted 26,400 and it came in at 28,548.72. So the difference, and the employees do pay a portion of it, so if you deduct that off, the difference is $1,156.08. So considering you're only gonna be paying for it for 6 months out of this year, and we can adjust the budget for next year, you're actually still under budget at leaving the same coverage that they currently have.
Right.
Okay. So renewing the existing coverage for another.
For another 12
Another
months.
12 months, correct.
that There's a 18.92% increase. Co-pays will remain unchanged while the deductible, and this is, did we definitively determine? Because again, it says will increase to $1,750 for individuals and $3,500 for families, but I think that's where we're
No,
at,
they're
right?
telling me that's what we have.
Yeah.
I mean, that's showing exactly what we already have.
Okay, comments, questions, concerns, I have an opinion,
Yeah, I mean, I read the long sheet here and
anything?
No.
Okay, I would be in favor of extending, or I'm sorry, renewing the existing program as it is. Looking for a second,
I'll second it.
Charlie second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, renewal of the employee benefits
That's
plan
fine.
to the current conditions is approved. Thank you, Tony, for getting all that together.
Thank you for doing that in April instead of June.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea.
Well,
Okay, item D, Perry County Planning Commission, potential Rye Township projects.
Did you guys talk about this plan commission? This popped up in my email.
oh yeah, actually we did. I don't know if we had any. I don't know.
I'm not
I don't know
sure
if we
how
had-
they got on there because we did not participate.
Well, I
in
know we
the
did.
period.
I don't know, because it's Jason. I don't think we had any, I don't think we had any major epiphanies about anything, but.
What do we need a vote on, or is this just
I don't,
informational?
I just wanted you to be aware that they had projects in the township
Yeah.
on their plan.
That they want us to sign on
Well-
to?
No,
or-
this is just things, this is things that they have listed on their overall plan, and they're just trying to make sure that if there's something that shouldn't be on there to get it off, or if there's something else that actually should be on instead, or,
Is there anything that jumped out at you as?
no, nothing. And I think that's actually kind of where we left it, is it doesn't really, there's not anything really needs changed, but.
Have you seen? this?
I've looked at it.
It just jumped out at me because I wasn't aware that, I mean, I knew we
Oh,
hadn't participated,
No, we're not.
and
I'll be honest, I need to read my planning minutes to see what we said, but to the best of my knowledge or whatever, we didn't have any changes or anything that needed done.
Okay, so no action required, signature of Wright Township Board of Supervisor Chairman. That's the, so regardless whether we want to do something.
It's
with
part
this
of
or not,
it, yeah, they don't even have the right to rename them. But if you really wanted to get to the bottom of it, you could always talk to Tom. Cause
Tom
he's,
G.
cause he's part, cause he's in on the grant planning.
Okay, but we don't need to.
We don't
do
need,
anything
we don't need to
this
do
evening.
anything with it,
Okay,
I think that's something that just goes out there.
Yeah.
okay, Tanya, can I give that back to you for the file, please? Barlup final minor subdivision plan, time extension requests. Burkett and Associates. Regarding final minor subdivision / land development plan for Justin Barlup and Randy L. Barlup time extension. Please accept this letter as a formal request for a time extension for approval of the Barlup subdivision land development plan. Additional time is needed to work through the rezoning process. We've extended this a number of times, right? I don't know that there's any issue or.
Is that, actually, is that what it says, rezoning?
Rezone? What did you-
Oh, right here.
Oh,
Yeah.
work through the rezoning.
Well, that was one of the options the planning commission had gave them a year ago, but apparently that is the route that they're gonna take, so.
Okay.
We were wondering that, so.
Okay, is there any objection to
No,
extending?
no,
the
no,
request for time?
that's why we
Yeah.
gave them the option.
planning commission was already aware, because their meeting was first after I
Right.
got it, so.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll make a motion to approve the request for the time extension. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Charlie, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Extension is approved. You don't sign this anywhere, so.
No, I just passed the word on.
Did they have a date on
Until
it?
July.
Okay.
Mowing contract with Mr. Ed Lingle. All right. And this is to maintain the Oak Grove Cemetery. Township will pay the amount of $120 per mowing of the Oak Grove Cemetery located on Oak Grove Road. Comments, questions?
No, I'm good with it.
Okay.
I'm good with it.
Is there a motion to approve the contract?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, tell Ed thank you for doing that.
He's here.
Oh, shoot, sorry, Ed. Why did you slide in? All right, thank you, Ed.
He's been here. There you go, you can tell him yourself.
All right. Well, it is getting late. All right. Back to Mr. Lingle. Did we need to sign 2 copies for the
I'll
contract?
make a copy.
Okay, okay. Bridge inspection reports, New Valley Road.
I think you guys looked at one
Yeah,
of those.
we looked at that, yeah.
I just wanted you to be aware, I know Charlie's looked at them.
I've seen.
Yeah, he probably actually looked at it.
I'm trying to figure out what they wanna do to
Fix it.
fix the problem.
Yeah, that was my question too.
I mean, we got plenty of pictures, but it's kinda like,
Yeah, what's the,
Is erosion or?
well, the problem is, I think that's,
it's eroded in one place.
there is a
and
crack.
it's
in
under
there
the cut
somewhere.
one of those two, I think.
But these are copies to hang on to? or
They,
do
they only sent us those two.
Yeah, just these two.
So-
Okay.
But, I mean, you're welcome to take them and look at them.
Yeah, I was kinda like, what's the recommendation for,
Remediation.
yeah, that's the word.
The bottom line is we're gonna have to do something about it.
Yeah, so again, is this item G, is this for informational purposes at this time, Tanya?
Yes, I just
Okay.
wanted you to be aware that we received them and it appears that there will need to be something done.
Right.
Do you wanna hang on to the other one, or do you want to talk?
But,
There are two different bridges.
Yeah,
Oh, shoot.
one's 107,
Yeah.
307.
this is,
They're both on New Valley
they're
Road.
both through the valley. Hang on.
Can you keep these in the office, out by the baskets, or in boxes?
Yeah,
so we
you
can
guys
come in
can.
and- Yeah, because I do wanna look them over.
Did you
more
need the
detail.
solicitor to review these to make sure that the bids are, the bonds and everything are correct on them? I'm not up on that.
Do you feel you need to review the
I'll
bids
take
for
a
the bonds?
look
Would
at
you
it,
please?
sure.
Thank you.
Sure, everything's okay.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
All right, so I have this together. Unless you wanna finish up what you're doing.
Oh, well, let's go to the end of, this column. So, EMDA church sign request?
Okay, so I don't know what the church used to be, but it's the one on 850.
The Salem.
Salem, yes.
It used to be Salem United Methodist Church.
So I got a phone call or an email from them. There's been, I guess, several accidents with people heading from here out to the church,
West, yeah.
and you can't see people pulling out. And so I guess somebody was hit again. I guess it's happened a couple of times. And so they were requesting a sign be placed warning of the hidden entrance ahead or whatever.
Oh.
So I referred them to PennDOT because 850 is not our road.
Yeah.
That's PennDOT's purview, not ours.
So she got an email back, which she forwarded to me from PennDOT. Let me see. Let me find it, sorry. She's saying she wants a church warning sign. Basically, they came out and said, that because it's in the township, we would have to put the sign in, but we would have to ask PennDOT for permission to put the sign in.
No, PennDOT.
But they want us to do it.
Hey, the church does or PennDOT?
No, PennDOT says we have to do it, but we have to get permission from them to do it. Says, how about a church warning sign attaches a copy of the sign drawing? Please note that even though this falls on a state-owned roadway, that type of sign, W11-102/church, would be the responsibility of the local municipality, Rye Township, to purchase, install, and maintain. The township would need to be willing to purchase and install the sign. If so, they would send a written request to PennDOT for permission to install the sign along a state roadway. The township should be familiar with this process, so you should contact them with your request.
Should I put my 2 cents in?
Johnny thinks we should trim.
I suggest the congregation contact Mike or Dolores Swanberger and ask them if they could go on that property and cut that back.
Yeah, that's a
Because
Johnny.
I don't care how many signs you put up there,
Yeah.
it ain't gonna matter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's bad, it's a bad location.
Yeah, it's a bad
period. I
location.
mean, that's just,
And the bad part about that is, I know somebody that went through this for sight distance a couple of years ago.
mm-hmm,
Once you cut it down, it grows back
Right.
PennDOT don't care about it.
You're right back, yeah, you're right back
Yeah,
to
You're right back to it.
where you are, I mean,
So, not to put it on you, Charlie, but to put it on you, do you know the parties? Or are you comfortable talking with them?
The people at the church? No,
Sornberg, well,
Sornberg.
Sornbergers, yeah.
I know Dolores, but that's been years ago.
yeah,
Dolores.
doors.
Dolores.
Would
I try to get in touch with her.
Because point to having a church to it, is the proper thing gonna happen, or is it just gonna stall out and nothing gets done and the hazard continues? I'm just wanna get one more thing done.
Yeah.
Stuff. Would you be so kind?
Yeah, I can check with her and see if they would be allowed to do that.
I don't
even know the shrub or whatever you're talking about. I know where the church is. But I don't know the
Well-
hazard.
It's on that corner.
mm-hmm,
Uh,
and the banks.
yeah, the bank's sort of what, it's just protruding out
Mm-hmm,
More than it should.
more than.
well, yeah,
Yeah, so, well, let's, if you
And
don't
I don't
mind.
think PennDOT does
Talk to
any more
them, yeah.
trimming anymore. It's-
nah, they don't cut
They
anything.
don't worry about it.
If you wouldn't mind. And then,
Yeah, I can
and
try
then
to
let us
touch.
know if you run into a brick wall, then we'll,
I'll try
Do
to touch
something
base
else.
with one there.
So, was that a congregation member that contacted you from the
Yeah,
church, or that emailed you
yeah.
from the church?
Yeah.
So my feeling on that is, you could put 3 signs up there and
It's not gonna stop
That's one
that.
more thing to be hit.
shot by a shotgun or a paintball, one of the two.
Right, yeah.
All right. Well, yes, we can go back then, Tanya, to,
Mhm.
do you wanna just go to the second sign? Is that more helpful for some?
So I'm just gonna read you totals, and unless you just, however, whatever you wanna do it. This is, so Lamb's Gap, the number one, Penzi Supplies bid on number one was $57,960.
Right.
New Enterprises was $60,480. J. Folk Road, $70,706.16, and Hall Baker is $63,000. Number 1A, Penzi Supplies bid is $14,030. New Enterprise is $10,675. Folk Road is $11,419.20, and Hall Baker is $6,832. 1B, Lamb's Gap, Penzi Supply, $5,290. New Enterprise, $3,910. J. Folk Road, $5,160.51. And Hall Baker, $5,290. So your totals are, for that first section, Penzi Supply, $77,280. New Enterprise, $75,065.
75,065.
Yep.
Okay.
J. Folk Road, $87,285.87. And Hall Baker's, $75,122.
75,000.
122.
122.
Okay. And then if we skip over the single soaring and chipping and just go to the double, you only had 2 people bid on it. So New Enterprise total bid for the tarring and chipping is $88,707.20 for double layer. The fall coating is $19,842.40. Hall Baker, $93,376 for the double layer. And the fall coating is $23,344.
Not really.
Alright, and then for, I'm just gonna give you totals for Rattling Rock and Site Circle. So Penzi Supplies bid was 18,700 for the last four letters,
18,700,
700.
okay.
New Enterprise was 8,492,
Okay.
and Hall Bakers, because, Fulker did not
They
bid on
didn't
it.
bid those, right?
Hall Bakers is 10,911.
Okay.
Okay, so if I'm reading this right, so for the first four lines, New Enterprise has the lowest.
Mhm.
That's correct.
They do.
Okay. And they always do a great job.
Mhm.
And then where do we stand with the remainders as far as
Okay.
the?
So, only two of them bid on everything, so I was gonna give you, and that was Hall Bakers and New Enterprise. So I was gonna give you a total on that. So, New Enterprise total price for all the projects was 192,106.60.
Okay.
And Glenn Hallbaker is $202,753.
Okay, 192 versus
202.
202. Okay, so, again, I've got scribbles and numbers all over this, but it looks like New Enterprise in
Yeah.
total has the best price for us.
Right.
And
I
they've
would
done
say
a
so.
great job historically,
Do-
so.
I think I knew what we had in the budget.
We had the 117,000, rough, 117,500 that we got this year.
Mhm.
And then I believe we had put another 40,000 back in the general fund budget, so that gave us 157. But we knew that we were probably gonna be over that,
Mhm.
and we do have multiple CDs that we can use.
Okay, for that we had for road projects.
Yes, and in the interest of not losing more
Road.
road,
Yeah.
I think it's necessary to do these projects this year. Site Circle and Rattling Rock are breaking up,
Mhm. Yeah.
and, the tarring and chipping, nothing's been done to those roads, to the best of my
True.
knowledge, since they've been put in.
Right.
And it should buy us 5 to 8 years maybe.
Yeah.
And Lamb's Gap's just Lamb's Gap, we always have, I mean, it's
There's
base
always
repair
something,
there,
there's always
yeah.
something that needs done.
Okay, well, I'd be in favor of going with New Enterprise for $192,106.60 if there is a second.
I'll second.
Sean second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Actually, are bid documents in order and all that, or?
Yeah, we'll take that.
Okay.
yeah, and we've used them before. and they were-
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they're probably squared away, so.
Yeah, that,
Okay, well, this is a.
I know that was painful.
No,
But
no,
they have
hey,
to be
no,
open during the
you-
meeting.
I was just gonna say you did it right.
That's okay, that's fine.
Appreciate that. All right. Oh, thank you.
We won't.
You can report positive in the morning.
Yes,
so.
thank you for coming in, appreciate it. Okay. Is that the same person that was here
Mhm.
last year?
Yeah,
Jimmy, okay.
No, I wasn't here
Okay.
last year.
yeah, but yeah, that's, yeah.
Yeah,
Mr.
that's
Johnson.
who I've dealt with,
Mm.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so item I, road crew resignation letter. Unfortunately. So William Starner, Willie, is resigning. He's been happy here, he said, and, he's been a wonderful asset, very talented young man. But he's got other priorities and, other opportunities, so we're grateful for the time that he was here. And, make a motion to accept Willie's resignation. Do we have a second?
With regret, I'll say.
Yeah, that would be, yeah.
Yep, okay. That was,
No,
With
no, no,
regret?
yeah, with regret, but
yep,
He's a good guy.
very good, very good. And then, Miss Tanya is also resigning. I'll just read you. I'd like to first thank you all for the privilege to work in Rye Township. It has been a pleasure getting to know the residents and employees at Rye Township. While I am thankful for my time here, I have been given the opportunity to work for a small business in the county that is closer to home, and it will be a new challenge. I do not have a final date of employment for Rye Township at this time. My new employer has graciously agreed to allow me time to transition from Rye Township into his business so that I can train a new secretary treasurer for the township. Thank you again, Tanya Motter. With sincerest regrets, I'll make a motion to accept Tanya's resignation.
That's
Charlie second, all in favor?
Aye. With regret.
With regret. Well, Tanya, you've been wonderful here, so.
Thank you.
But we're happy for you. So, give you these copies back. That takes us to announcements. Spring cleanup is this weekend, May 1st, from 6 a.m. to 1:45 p.m. That's Friday, and then May 2nd from 8 a.m. till 12 noon. Need to talk about manpower. Do we have enough?
Yes.
I think John
Early's
has it
actually
covered.
coming.
Oh,
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
okay. And
So that'll keep the two.
two backhoes running?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I asked him, he said he knows.
I think
But then there's
Johnny's
other,
got,
Eric- yeah, Eric Simmons,
Okay.
one fellow out here at the end of the lane. We're good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good. May 19th from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. primary election day. Make plans to vote. May 26th is Supervisors Meeting here at 7 p.m. And then May 25th, the office will be closed for Memorial Day. Trash collection will be on Wednesday, May 27th. And then old business, so IT proposal, that was tabled from last month until we all had a chance to look at the contract. A few more copies, I have a copy somewhere here.
I have my copy.
You have your copy.
I can pass mine down if we need to look at it.
Can I look at it for a second?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've been bumping along for many years without a IT support, and we need to improve in that regard for information storage, tracking,
Security.
security, and I reached out to a gentleman that works as an IT engineer where I work in a small office, and he's very talented, very quick. My experience over the course of years is some are good and some are not as good. Albert Forlizzi does a great job for us, so I asked him if he would be interested in providing us a proposal. He met with Tanya, he's already helped her out in a number of ways. Tanya, your thoughts on how he performed for you?
He was great. I
Okay.
mean, yeah.
Again, it's full disclosure, I work with a guy, but I'm not getting anything out of it, I just know that he's a walk-on, he's a smart guy. So there's a couple of proposals he gave us. Okay, so that's the compensation. Where did I see the, 3 or 4 options with the hourly rates? Is that on a different sheet, or is that? I don't know which one. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, back here.
Last page on the back of last.
Yeah. Let's-
So agreement period, 12-month period reviewed annually. Option 1 is pay as you go with a monthly cost of $0, labor rate of $180 an hour. The scope of that would be strictly reactive, so it's called break fix support type. Does not include remote support software, which I guess Al would be purchasing to make this happen. My experience with IT support so far, working with Al, is we have a problem at work and he jumps right on our machine and logs in and gets it done, gets us back to running. So that would not be included in option 1, which again, there's no monthly commitment, we just pay him for
Yeah.
the labor, $180 an hour. Option 2 is monthly retainer of $450 a month. That would include 3 hours of labor and then an overage emergency rate of $150 an hour. And that would include the remote login ability, which, again, I think has been very helpful. And then option 3 is a monthly retainer of $700. I don't know, as we need to read down through the rest of these.
No,
Um,
I think we should try this.
Okay.
The essential support for.
Well, no, Charlie's pointing to the first one where there's no
Mhm.
monthly, but again, that's no remote log on. So
So you're
that
gonna
will
pay
take
him.
more.
for
He would-
the time
he would actually have to
he's
come
He would
here
have,
to
he
do
would
it.
have to wait till he has time to come out here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Then, you know, we have to have somebody here versus Tanya runs into a problem with option 1. She just
He
calls
can,
them
he
and
can remote log on to
remote
her
log in.
PC from wherever he's at and actually work on the problem. That's pretty much all of them do that
Yeah, and
nowadays.
that comes with 3 hours of labor
And you get the first-
included versus here we would pay for.
all right, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, so,
So it is actually cheaper per hour for the 3 hours.
yeah.
And then it's a cheaper hourly rate too.
Yeah, so I would, me personally, I'd be in favor of the option 2,
Option two.
tier 1, essential support. We have a second,
I'll second on that one if you
okay,
need
all
it.
in favor?
Yeah,
I was gonna ask if I could comment before you vote on this. This is very specific why I'm here tonight. Is it okay to comment now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Before
Because
you
again, this is
actually
new to us.
certify the vote.
Yeah,
So, having been in IT for 32 years, supported multiple state agencies from $3 billion retail organizations down to the smallest of the small. I get a little nervous around single-threaded support. This is one guy who, when he's on vacation in Myrtle Beach, he's not gonna leave there to come here to fix your computer problem.
Mhm.
And if you don't have remote support, well, then that certainly is another option. There are several small, very valid organizations in the area, just working through with Wesley, very similar type contracts where you have a multi-threaded, purposed help desk organization for zero down. You pay $150 an hour, same kind of deal that you're getting here, but you're also covered weekends, holidays, snow days, all those things where you can get a very similar thing. The promise there is that it's not one guy, right?
Yeah.
So you're getting the same kind of benefits. My experience with the bids that we just got at Wesley, very competitive for what you're reading. In fact, you may have even talked to somebody and got their numbers from them. But there are certainly strategies, and I was gonna offer, that was one of the reasons I came tonight, was to offer my experience and services to, on a volunteer, much like the emergency management, to set up a small committee to map a roadmap out and get you guys squared away. So I throw that out as an option, and we can certainly chat about it, or you can certify the guy, and that's up to you.
No, Appreciate that, Nick, because again, IT is not my area of expertise, and I don't think it's any of us. But I've also experienced that where you call into a help desk and sometimes you get the good person, sometimes so if you're all okay with it, make a motion, we table it until we talk further with Nick and see what.
May I also make a suggestion too? For your immediate needs, maybe you're looking for something for your immediate needs. You can't get in your email and you need immediate. But also in the long term, also, where's your data stored? Is it stored on site? Is it stored off site?
Yeah.
What's your security like? Can anybody walk in here and get on a terminal? Do
Yeah.
you sign on? Do you sign off every
Yeah,
time you walk away?
and those are the kind of things, that's again why I was looking toward this gentleman that I know, because again, the company I work for, our office is small, but we have worldwide about 900,000 employees, it's a huge company.
You're
And
multi-billion.
he understands, because again, it's not my area of expertise, but hearing him talk and deal with the multiple, the Taiwan office and all those other, and tying it all together, he knows. He's a sharp guy, and he was a known quantity, that's why I was moving in that direction. But again, Nick, if you've got other input that you can provide us, hey, I'll
Certainly
make a
happy
motion
to look at
table
that
it.
for you, and there's
That'd
other
be
folks
wonderful.
in the valley that I know are very attuned to providing IT support and services.
That'd be wonderful. We've been going along for so long without any, so yeah, that'd be great. Thank you, Nick,
Yep.
and thank you, Dave. So, yeah, I'll make a motion to table.
Yeah.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. That. Approval and payment of the bills.
April general fund check numbers 18621 to 18646 were written in the amount of $46,479.63, no checks void. We had 3 payrolls because of the way the weeks ran. Payroll checks number 8660 to 8665 in the amount of $5,617.82, no checks void. Payroll checks number 8666 to 8670 in the amount of $8,035.71, no checks void. And payroll checks number 8671 to 8674 in the amount of $6,563.33, no checks void.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in here. I make a motion to pay all the general fund checks under A with the exception of 18632.
Okay, I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, payment of those bills with the exception of 0018632 is approved for payment. Based on that, I will make a motion to approve payment of 0018632 to Laura Fetter, Sean's sister-in-law, for the work that she does here at the township. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Approval of 0018632 to Laura Fetter is approved, and Sean is abstaining.
And I'll make a motion to pay B, C, and D. Or do we figure we covered it?
I think we covered it.
Okay.
Yeah, yep. Thank you. for
Okay.
that. Okay, payment of the bills is all wrapped up and approved. Citizen participation at this time. John, you are on the list.
Okay. First question, I may have missed it as I was signing in earlier. Was there anything announced about an executive session?
Thank you for that reminder. Yes, we did have an executive session. I was thinking of that, well, and then we ran up right against the clock and I then forgot. We had an executive session, the board here did, with our solicitor regarding RTCA matters and personnel matters. And that's it. Thank you for the reminder, John.
Okay. With the audit next year, can we either get a handout for the crowd out here or something displayed? I know we used to do it. Teena used to do that, but we just sit here and not hearing it. So just a request, something to think about.
Or even on the screen or something. Yeah, no, I think that the hand, yeah, I don't know, if we could use a projector at some
We
point,
used
but, Yeah, the handouts would be helpful, I agree. Can we,
I I didn't have what she was gonna present prior to her walking
Yeah.
up and handing it to us,
Yeah.
so, I mean, I suppose you could ask for it ahead of time.
okay.
I mean, some of the information was stuff that was in the report, but there was a lot that wasn't, so
Mhm.
it was just presented a different way.
Is, yeah, we'll do that, okay.
All right.
Okay.
And then my last comment that I had, these are comments from my wife, Rebecca. She couldn't attend tonight. I want to thank Tanya and Willie for their service to Rye Township. During their employment here, short as it may have been, they've worked extremely hard to improve this township. Residents have noticed and appreciate their willingness to go above and beyond what was expected and save taxpayer money. It is sad that we lost these hardworking, selfless employees due to a lack of management support. Both Tanya and Willie gave way more than they received from this township, as they took minimal benefits, unlike their predecessors. New employees could cost taxpayers much more and give far less. Again, thank you, Tanya and Willie. On another note, after the March supervisor meeting, the RTCA attorney received an email from your soliciting firm stating Rye Township is working on a settlement agreement with the RTCA. We have not received anything to date. As stated before, please meet with the RTCA to discuss the settlement. I know Charlie is here multiple times a week checking in with the employees. We would be happy to meet with you if the other supervisors do not have time. This will save taxpayer money. Litigation has gone on long enough. Thank you.
Can you provide a copy of that then, John, for the record here, please? Okay, anyone else?
Yeah, that was just one portion. Before you voted on it, I wanted to get my 2
Yeah.
cents in. So just a couple, 3 things, and we can talk about these downstream if, we're gonna have a conversation anyway. First off, it's great that, I'm sure you have you need to go through an audit annually. One aspect of the audit that I'm used to going through is also an IT audit that really looks at system security to your thoughts too, but also deals with records retention and things like that, some of those things. Because, when we hear things like, I had an inbox with 15,000 emails in it, I had rules in my inbox that said, this is a decision document, keep it for 7 years. This is not a decision document, this is informational, keep it for 3 years. So we can apply some of those types of things to save and create a record retention policy here that would be automated. It's tools that are within your email right now that you can do that. As far as the IT consulting, certainly willing to look over and help with anything I can there and do what I can to make sure that we're up to par. And even from the aspect, I think the emergency operations folks need to be involved. Most of your cell phones, new cell phones are coming satellite equipped. So if you have a Pixel 10, an iPhone 17, or a Samsung Galaxy 26, you're finding they're starting to implement emergency texting capabilities for so if the cell towers are down, you can get some emergency texts and they're all coming through satellite. So there are some things that we can help, or we can look at to help solidify this as emergency management operations center and put it into EOCS, FEMA certified at 1.2. So the thought, that's just my thoughts on the IT stuff. So anything I can do to help, just reach out. I can leave my number or get over here tomorrow and leave my info with Tanya, and we can get that rolling.
Yeah, if you can do your thing.
And then just for the solicitor, the situation that I commented on before, different guy sitting in that chair, was Brad bidding on the John Deere here. He had previously bid and won a dump truck, I believe it was. That was years and years ago. But then he, and his comment was, well, if it's a blind bid, what's it really matter?
Just not a good thing.
Yeah, if you're a state employee, you do not bid on things that are within your particular
Can't
agency.
even buy a state car.
Yeah, as long as it's not in your agency, yep, you got it. And if you work for the governor's office, pretty much everything's off limits. But from that aspect, that's all I had. And just one last comment, I don't know if you're calling PennDOT about a sign for the church, the bridge out here across 850, right before, the first one before New Valley, right after Fleischer Road. The roadway has disintegrated, the iron bars on the expansion joints on the, at least on the eastern side of the bridge, definitely need some attention. I hit it with my bike tonight, that's why I was a little late riding my bike. I hit it with my bike tonight, and I thought I was going down in the middle of 850, so that was not a good situation.
You have a
And
little probably
it's
the-
chunking up, so someone's gonna move chunks out there pretty soon. That's all. Thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you, Nick.
And thanks to Tanya too for her efforts here as well.
Okay, it is 8:56. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Charlie, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion, or meeting is adjourned at 8:56.